May is guest hosting again, and given how the last one went, I was quick to say yes. May, take it away.
Thanks, Erica. Every field borrows from every other. I will name the borrows as we go. Most veterans who survive an aortic aneurysm repair are never told that the VA will pay them 100% disability compensation for the full year after surgery. And many miss the reevaluation that determines what they receive for the rest of their life. Diagnostic code 7110 covers aortic aneurysm under the cardiovascular rating schedule, and the surgical rating window closes quietly whether the veteran files in time or not.
Erica. Last episode, we covered Raynaud's disease and cold injury residuals in the cardiovascular block. Today, we are focusing on aortic aneurysm, which is a different condition. An aneurysm is an abnormal bulge in the wall of the aorta, the body's largest artery, caused by weakening of the arterial wall, and it carries both immediate and long-term health consequences.
A.R. Jun. The VA's rating under DC 7110 is driven by the size of the aneurysm and whether it is causing symptoms. An asymptomatic aneurysm may receive a lower rating. A asymptomatic aneurysm with pain or pulsation earns a higher rating.
Lewis. The most significant rating trigger is surgical repair. When a veteran undergoes open or endovascular surgery to repair an aortic aneurysm, the VA assigns a 100% rating beginning on the date of the procedure. That 100% runs for a minimum of 1 calendar year, and then the VA schedules a re-evaluation based on residual impairment.
Zara. For veterans who developed hypertension during service, the aneurysm may qualify as a secondary condition under 38 CFR 3.310. And for Vietnam-era veterans, hypertension is already an Agent Orange presumptive, which means the entire chain from service to aneurysm can be established through the presumptive pathway. That secondary chain matters enormously for non-surgical aneurysm cases.
Short intro round, then straight into it.
Professor Erica, co-piloting today. The host has the stick, and I'm keeping quiet.
June here. The easy trade-off is the one you do not notice.
Lewis here. The quiet parts of the history are usually the important parts.
Zara here. I will ask who designed the default and for whom.
All right, let us jump in.
The cardiovascular rating schedule uses DC 7110 for aortic aneurysm and DC 7111 for aneurysm of other major vessels. PAT. Both follow a similar rating structure tied to clinical findings. The distinction matters when the aneurysm is in a peripheral artery rather than the aorta itself, because the DC number determines which criteria apply at the compensation and pension exam.
In clinical medicine, an aortic diameter exceeding 5 centimeters is typically the threshold where surgeons begin discussing repair options. The VA does not use a single size cutoff the same way, but the examiner notes the size, the rate of growth, and the symptom burden when assigning a rating. Imaging records from the VA or private facilities are the foundation for that assessment.
A symptomatic aneurysm earns a higher rating because it signals the arterial wall is under stress. The VA looks for pain that is continuous or exertional, a pulsating mass that can be felt on physical exam, and cardiovascular symptoms tied to impaired blood flow. Good point. A.R. Jun. The imaging record documenting size is usually paired with a clinical note on those symptom findings.
Rapid expansion of an aneurysm is a clinical danger signal, and it also supports a higher severity rating at the compensation and pension exam. If the veteran has serial imaging showing the aneurysm growing by more than 0.5 centimeter per year, that rate of growth is evidence of an increasingly severe condition and should be documented explicitly in the claim package.
The 100% surgical rating begins on the date of the procedure, not the date the veteran files the claim. That distinction matters because VA claims can be backdated to the date of surgery if the veteran files within 1 year. Turns out that waiting longer than 12 months to file after surgery can cost a veteran thousands of dollars in retroactive compensation they were already owed.
Secondary service connection under 38 CFR 3.310 allows a veteran to receive a rating for a condition caused or worsened by an already service-connected disability. For aortic aneurysm, the most common secondary pathway runs through hypertension. If hypertension is service-connected and hypertension contributed to the aneurysm becomes a secondary service-connected condition.
For Vietnam-era veterans, hypertension is an Agent Orange presumptive condition under the PACT Act expansion. That means the chain from service to hypertension to aortic aneurysm can be established entirely through presumptive pathways. ZARA, the Agent Orange list, covers a wide range of conditions, and hypertension being added is one of the most significant for cardiovascular claims.
For veterans without Agent Orange exposure, the pathway requires establishing direct service connection for hypertension first. Lewis, you are right that the chain is the same regardless of the starting point once hypertension is service-connected by any route: direct, secondary to PTSD, or secondary to sleep apnea. The aneurysm can follow as a secondary condition under 38C, FR 3.310.
10. The medical literature on military stress and hypertension is substantial. Multiple peer-reviewed studies document that combat stress, sleep deprivation, and the physical demands of military service increase cardiovascular risk, including hypertension. That literature can be cited in a private physician's opinion letter to support service connection for hypertension in veterans who do not have a presumptive pathway.
The nexus letter for a secondary aneurysm claim needs to address two links in the chain. First, the physician must state that hypertension is at least as likely as not related to service. Second, the physician must state that hypertension contributed to the development or progression of the aortic aneurysm. A letter that only addresses one link will leave the rater without the evidence needed to grant the secondary condition.
The 100% rating assigned after aortic aneurysm surgery covers the period of active surgical treatment, including recovery, follow-up care, and the direct postoperative period. It is not a permanent rating. The VA's intent is to recognize the total disability burden during the most acute phase of the condition and then reevaluate once the veteran has stabilized.
At the 1-year reevaluation, the Compensation and Pension Examiner typically reviews METS capacity, meaning metabolic equivalence of task, which measures how much physical exertion the veteran can sustain without cardiovascular stress. Residual symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, or activity limitation factor into the post-surgical rating. The examiner also reviews current medications and their necessity for ongoing disease management.
Think of it like a two-phase claim. The surgical event earns the 100% for the first year, and the residual symptoms earn the ongoing rating after that. Post-surgical residuals from an aortic aneurysm repair can include chronic pain at the surgical site, reduced exercise tolerance, ongoing medication dependence, and cardiovascular functional limitations that each support a rating above 0.
Veterans who require ongoing medical treatment for their aneurysm, even without surgical repair, may qualify for a rating based on the continuous treatment requirement. The VA recognizes that managing an aneurysm with blood pressure medication, surveillance imaging, and activity restriction represents a real functional limitation, and that ongoing medical management is evidence of a rateable condition.
A veteran with service-connected hypertension and a secondary aortic aneurysm can receive ratings for both conditions simultaneously, because they are distinct diagnostic entities affecting different aspects of cardiovascular function. The anti-pyramiding rule does not apply when the conditions are separately diagnosed and separately rateable. That combination can add meaningful monthly compensation to what the veteran is already receiving. DA. A complete aortic aneurysm claim package has 4 core documents. JJ. First, the veteran's medical records documenting the aneurysm diagnosis, size, and symptom history. Second, surgical records, if a repair was performed, including the operative report and post-operative notes. Third, a nexus letter linking the aneurysm to service either directly or through the secondary chain. Fourth, the completed VA, Form 21, 526EZ, listing every relevant condition.
The operative report from the aneurysm repair is especially important for establishing the effective date of the 100% rating. Good point, May. And the surgeon's notes will document the size of the aneurysm, the type of repair performed, and the clinical urgency of the procedure. That report, paired with VA medical records showing hypertension during service, can establish the secondary chain with minimal additional documentation.
A Veteran Service Organization, or VSO, is particularly helpful for aneurysm claims because the surgical rating timeline and the secondary connection framework both require careful sequencing. Filing the hypertension claim first and waiting for a decision before filing the aneurysm as secondary gives the secondary claim a clear foundation to rest on. A VSO claims agent will map out that sequence for free.
Bring everything to the compensation and pension exam: imaging reports showing aneurysm size over time, a written log of symptoms and activity limitations, the surgical report if applicable, and a list of all current medications. The examiner is evaluating the veteran's current functional status, and the more complete the documentation, the more accurate the resulting rating. Drop in the comments, have you filed an aortic aneurysm claim? Or is this new information for your situation?
Imagine a veteran who had a blood pressure diagnosis noted in his discharge, physical, retired without filing, then was told his aortic aneurysm repair 10 years later was unrelated to service. The secondary chain through hypertension was there the whole time. If you forget everything else in this video, remember, establishing the hypertension service connection before the aneurysm claim is the sequence that makes everything else possible.
Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what's stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
If this video is worth your time, a like and subscribe is worth 2 seconds of yours. We will see you in the next one.
When does the 100% VA disability rating for aortic aneurysm surgical repair begin? And how long does it last at minimum? The correct answer is D. The 100% rating begins on the date of the surgical procedure and lasts a minimum of 1 calendar year before re-evaluation.
What regulation governs secondary service connection, allowing a veteran to claim an aortic aneurysm as secondary to service-connected hypertension? The correct answer is D. 38 CFR 3.310, which allows ratings for conditions caused or aggravated by an already service-connected disability.
How does Agent Orange exposure help a Vietnam-era veteran establish service connection for an aortic aneurysm? The correct answer is B. Hypertension is an Agent Orange presumptive, so the veteran establishes HTN as service-connected and then claims the aneurysm as secondary to that service-connected HTN.
Here is the core takeaway from today. Aortic aneurysm under DC 7110 earns a 100% rating for the year after surgical repair, and veterans with service-connected hypertension may qualify for the aneurysm as a secondary condition, whether or not they ever had surgery. Both pathways require documentation, and the secondary chain needs to be sequenced correctly before filing.
3 years from now, you will thank yourself for pulling those surgical records, establishing that hypertension service connection, and filing the aneurysm claim that had been sitting there all along.
Next episode covers deep vein thrombosis and pulmonary embolism ratings. Wait until you see how a single acute event can generate a 100% rating and what the VA actually looks for when that rating comes up for re-evaluation.
If this episode helped you understand aortic aneurysm VA claims, subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next episode in the VA benefit series.
Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like.
Keep studying.
The unexpected analogy is usually the most useful one. Take care.
Rating you a 9, May. Will, say what you will. You earned it the old-fashioned way. Professor Erica, signing off.